Collier County Public Library and a special video celebrating our soldiers for Veterans Day here at the Vanderbilt Library. Grab your coffee and spend some time with me and these great books. Please remember that all the books I mentioned today are available through our website, collierlibrary.org. Now I admit, before starting this project, my ventures into military fiction and nonfiction were few and far between, but I have since fallen into a deep valley of military reading, and I have emerged a grateful reader. We go to school and we learn about the Civil War or World War II or the Vietnam War, but are we really given perspective? Books are there to connect us to past events and to help us enter into an experience that maybe we didn't have ourselves. I'm going to start today with two classics. I have The Red Badge of Courage by Stephen Crane, which was first published in 1895. This little masterpiece about a Civil War soldier is really the template for the treatment of war in fiction and should be read by everyone. And number two, I have A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. This classic about a World War I American ambulance driver on the Italian front and his passion for a nurse is probably familiar to you as a film, but I encourage you to read the book, always. And while I do take issue with Hemingway's writing, he is Hemingway, and this is one of his best. By the way, did you know that Hemingway once told the Paris Review that he rewrote the ending of this book, A Farewell to Arms, something like 47 times before he felt he got it right? And this got me thinking about alternate endings to classic books, like what if Pip and Estella didn't have a future together in Great Expectations, or what if Wilbur and Charlotte grew old together in Charlotte's Web, or what if Voldemort won in Harry Potter? You know, these are the things that float through my head at strange hours in the morning. Back to the books. Now, there are so many books, both fiction and nonfiction on World War II. It was really hard for me to narrow my choices down to two. I did, of course, include Band of Brothers by Stephen Ambrose, simply because I couldn't leave it out. It is so personal, and it's so truthful. You really feel like you're taking a 3-year journey through World War II. My other choice is fiction, and it's by the often forgotten author Herman Woolwick, The Caine Mutiny. He is known for his other classic, Winds of War, but this was one of the first serious works of American fiction that dealt with the human consequences of World War II. Okay, this one's going to stand alone. My father served in the Korean War, and the Korean War is often referred to as the Forgotten War. And I was surprised at the difference in amounts of books available on this conflict in comparison to World War II. The Frozen Hours by Jeff Shara. It reads like nonfiction. All the characters are actual people who participated in this campaign. And this is why Jeff Shara is a master history novelist. And this book really is a gem. Don't miss it. This is the other conflict where it was difficult to narrow my choice to two. So many books and films have been written about the Vietnam War. Sometimes it almost felt overwhelming. I have two uncles who served in Vietnam, and the more I read, the more questions I had. My first choice is Upcountry by Nelson Demille. Nelson Demille is a favorite of mine. I often recommend him to patrons. I love good fiction. You don't always have to be reading Peer Gynt or something. You can read fiction just for fun. It's like ice cream. The more you have, the more you want. Well, with this book, I learned that the author is a Vietnam vet, and he actually based this book on a return trip he took to Vietnam. My second choice is Matterhorn by Marlantes. And of all the books and films I read about Vietnam, this was the one that stayed with me, stays with me. It's eloquent but brutal. It's an eloquent but brutal tribute to men in war. Okay, here I have two more. This is more about modern combat. Red Platoon by Clinton Romshaw. The author is a Medal of Honor recipient, and this book is filled with authentic detail and the very harsh reality for our soldiers in Afghanistan. And we have Black Hawk Down by Mark Bowden. This is based on an actual event, October 3rd, 1993. About 100 US soldiers were dropped by helicopter into Mogadishu, Somalia, on a mission. And as I said, this is modern combat. You won't forget it. The book was made into an excellent film that's also available through the Collier County Library, but the book is unforgettable. My last two books for you today, Ashley's War by Gail Lemon and Soldier Girls by Helen Thorpe. Now, women have served in every single armed conflict the United States has ever engaged in, yet the library of books of women in the military is small. These are two of the best books on military women. It tells about how they serve proudly and how it affects their personal lives and their families. As always, I thank you for your time today. Please remember to thank a veteran for their service on Veterans Day and every day. And a special thank you to Lisa and her father Ernie for the loan of his hat. Let me leave you with a quote. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. And that is President John F. Kennedy. Thank you very much.